because it's the one time we pause to really celebrate master teachers, the best of the best. And I can tell you there are some incredible teachers out there in our school district. But we take time to honor the profession through those that we think are exemplary of that profession. So, you know, we spend a lot of time, I can't tell you how many hours we have spent in the last few years to figure out the equations, how you define high-quality teaching, student growth models, value-added models. Even this week, we've been working with principals to try to dissect what does it look like, how can you identify the skills. And then you walk into the classroom of a master teacher, and magic is happening. And you hear the stories that come from the interviews of the teachers of the year, and you hear the impact the teachers are having with students that will never be measured, probably can't be observed in a classroom walkthrough, but yet is having a life-changing impact on a child's life. So take tonight to pause and reflect on what you have given to all of us through your skills, through your caring, through your professionalism, and let us celebrate you. So thank you so much.
Because we have such a profound influence on those we teach. Consciously or unconsciously, we are shaping the future of our community, our country, and our world. Our children live in an incredibly fast-paced digital world, and I feel there has never been a greater need for the guidance, direction, and vision from caring and responsible adults. We should lead our children by the power of our example and be the guiding light in their sometimes turbulent world. And to think that this ballroom is filled with such compassionate and caring individuals striving to make a difference every single day is absolutely inspiring. I believe the potential of our children is infinite, and I also believe that our expectation is the key to unlocking that potential. To share these thoughts among some of the finest individuals I've ever had the opportunity to meet leaves me with a sense of beauty for our children for which there are no words. Thank you.
one representative from our district as our overall 2014 Teacher of the Year. So, start the drum roll. The 2014 Sarasota County Teacher of the Year is Ms. Catherine Rudd.
Overwhelmed. And as has been mentioned many times tonight, how many wonderful people are in this room tonight that inspire kids. It is truly a wonderful, wonderful, every day I wake up excited about what I do. So thank you again. I had to take a deep breath. My principal has been wonderful, Linda Nuck. Thank you so much. She has been unbelievable. Normally you think of fish tanks as, oh boy, you can create a lot of messes with those, but she has really stood behind me and understood the concept. The first day that Judy McStritus and Effa Boet walked through my room and said, do you think that, I was doing a lot of field trips hands-on with my students, and they said, do you think you could create a career technical education program revolving around marine science? And I thought, sure, why not? And we looked for partners from Mote Marine, University of Florida. We did a whirlwind tour, and really that has been our backbone. We have gone out to the experts who have helped us develop this program, and then built a 30 by 72 outdoor greenhouse that is a teaching tool as well as a tool to bring elementary and middle school kids to our school. And my interns teach that age group, and it's just been wonderful. It's been such a pleasure. It's been a lot of work and a lot of weekends and so forth getting it to this point. But when I sit back, the day that we have field trips that come through, it is just priceless. When these little kids, my students tell them that clownfish change sex at age 1 year old, that a boy becomes a female, they're like, what? It is just, I would love for you to hear it from my students, because the afterwards, when we download after one of our field trip experiences, the stories I hear, it is just priceless. So it's a wonderful, wonderful honor. Thank you so much. Really appreciate it. Thank you. Quickly, my husband has been wonderful. He picks up the slack big time. Thank you, Jeff. I love you. My 2 kids, Ryan and Rebecca, they go to Riverview. Ryan's about to graduate. Wonderful, wonderful kids. So thank you. My parents, Larry and Rotra, thanks to them too. Almost forgot.
I was thinking when I met her this evening, and I have a teacher. I went to graduate from Naples High, and Dr. Phil Short was my science teacher, and he made science fun, and it sounds like that's what you do. And when I went off to college, I went to Davidson College, one of the very few A's I ever made was in my freshman year in chemistry, and that wasn't because I wasn't smart. I just did a lot of things I probably shouldn't have done, but that I still to this day remember my high school science teacher. So I love that you all are making an impression on the students, and how I feel every year when I come here. This is, like Lori, it's my favorite event, and I say no to 90% of the events I get invited to, and I will not ever say no to this one. So it is an honor and a privilege on behalf of myself and my sister Melissa McKeon and our father Bob Geyer, who's the president of the Sunset Automotive Group, and all of the employees at Sunset Chevrolet Buick GMC, to give you the keys to this 2013 Chevrolet Cruze. And I'm sure your children, who I saw taking many photos of it, I'm not going to ask who's driving it this year. But I'm going to take a guess. I might see them in one of these one day. So I'm giving you an assignment to take these keys and have fun, and congratulations.
Congratulations to all the teachers of the year this year, and thank the sponsors and the school community for your continued support. So give everybody, give yourself a big hand for being here tonight.
This is the Aqua Dome, part of the Aqua Science program here at Riverview. We have elementary kids that come through the planetarium, view the Stars to Starfish show, and then my students, who are part of the internship program, take them and escort them into the Aqua Dome, which you're going to see today. And we have about 10 stations set up, and they explain various aspects of environmental science, the various aspects of what is going on in the ecosystem around Florida, and you get to see all the different fish and so forth in the Aqua Dome.
All right, well, the kids come through and they have many stations that they go and learn about different segments of what we learn. My group is learning about the rotifers and how we cultivate them and what we do with them. We actually feed them to baby clownfish because we hatch the baby clownfish here at school.
My station was clownfish. A lot of kids, of course, know clownfish because of Finding Nemo, but we want to show them that clownfish aren't just orange and like white. We want to show them that things aren't as just like the movies portray, but that in the wild it's much vaster and different.
And our main goal is to tell the kids about how the clownfish change from being all males to one becoming a female. And seeing their faces and their reactions to that is really cool. We've gotten, oh, so clownfish are like the Hulk. They just transform when they're really mad or, you know, tough. And I'm, well, yeah, sort of. But, so that's the main thing. We also like to tell them about the symbiotic relationship that clownfish have with sea anemones.
And then we simply decided on topics that were related to the Common Core science standards and selected 10 topics that we could teach them easily in the Aqua Dome. And then they kind of did their own background research. I had them do presentations in the class, so they were each teaching each other the different topics. And then we just practiced actually a couple times. We used students here on campus, we used our internship program, and then we set up our 10 stations, and then they went around and actually trained that way.
Nothing is a better way to learn about a particular field than to teach it. And so if you have to explain it to the students, then you're going to learn about it. And I use that tool here as well. We have Riverview High School executive interns that work with us. And after they've worked with us for a while, I have them go around and explain to me what the systems are doing and how they work.
Seeing these elementary and middle school kids, they look up to high school kids, and it's wonderful to see them. They will sit and listen for an hour if they need to anything they're saying, and they just absorb it. They're like little sponges taking it all in. So I see the interaction. I'm generally in the background at that point, and I can tell you that they are learning lots when they're coming through here.
Have dots on it. All the little dots on this coral were animals, just like these ones. The colored dots, those are the living animals that's in the coral.
I work at one of the tilapia stations. I mainly talk about the age groups we have here, the 3 different age groups, and I also talk about what they eat in the wild, what we feed them here. And a big thing I teach them about is mouth brooding and why that's so unique to tilapia and what all that involves. I feel like when it's coming from an adult, you just hear it a certain amount of times and it just goes one in ear and out the other. But when you're able to be taught by a teenager, someone that little kids may look up to, they're able to absorb it a little bit more and take it in fully.
I think it really is important for us to have a hands-on experience, because I personally believe that that is the best way for us to learn, because anyone can look stuff up on the internet, but to actually see it and be able to touch it and interact with it is something really special.
I really feel like this is an opportunity for students to get engaged in science, and that's not always an easy thing to do. It's wonderful to go visit Moat Marine and SeaWorld and all the various places, but here they actually get an opportunity to come up with ideas on their own, to not just be shown things, but to actually incorporate what they're learning and come up with their own projects, perhaps a science fair, perhaps something that'll be published.
One of the things about aquaculture is that it is a very applied science. It incorporates many different types of educational fields, everything from chemistry to mathematics, to marketing, to biology, to the science of the oceans. And so there's a whole suite of different things that come together to form the field of aquaculture. And so when students are involved in that, even if they don't end up in the field later on, they've learned a lot of different tools and how to integrate them together. And of course, here in this country, we have a big emphasis on the need to expand the STEM programs, the science, technology, and mathematics programs through education. And this is a perfect example of one that's working that way, where they've got these teams that are covering all the different aspects of the day-to-day life and incorporating those together into an educational program where they're learning that science. And, you know, I can't say enough about how important it is for us to get people in better touch with the need to both conserve the environment and the environmental resources and to produce seafood.
Here's the spider crab, guys, if you want to see how it feels. This is called a spider crab. This is just a baby spider crab. You guys want to touch on it? No, it doesn't bite, doesn't hurt. Doesn't hurt at all. Doesn't hurt at all.
It's amazing to watch when a group of young children come and they go through the Aquadome and they're at stations with our interns. The rapport between the younger students and the older students, the excitement in the younger students, the poise, the confidence, and the expertise of the docents is a wonderful match.
I learn things from them too, because they point things out that I wouldn't have thought of, and Miss Raj often tells us that that's how she feels with us too, so.
Whatever field they go into, I'm modeling that work ethic, and so they're kind of following my example. We're learning many different aspects. A lot of them are interested in marine science, so some component of that career. So that's what I'm hoping, they take those on to future careers.
This is our famous touch tank. All the kids are always happy to see the touch tank.
If they're involved with this program and they are teaching young elementary school students about the field of science and how those fish breed and talking about that with them, they're getting that experience in public speaking. They're getting the experience in education. There's a whole suite of things they can end up doing later on that those tools will help them accomplish.
And I think those are the things students walk away with. There's a confidence level that is so obvious after they've begun the program as compared to before. But then on the flip side of that, the students who basically were responsible for setting up the Aquadome last year were engineering interns, and they learned basically how to engineer, construct, manage the water quality, all the systems that go with that. Those are those on-the-job skills that actually translate into the workplace.
This is great for the Sarasota County School Board to have, because it gives them a way to have their students teaching their students. As opposed to having to outsource and go out to other facilities to learn stuff, they can go to one of their facilities that they run and they manage, and they can teach their students by the students they've taught in the past.
We want these kids to feel like when they come to this school that they can become a part of this program. That's the main thing. We want to make it fun, want to make them want to learn more and want to do more. So when they do come to high school, if not here, any other school, get a program like this going. And it's a big learning experience for everyone.
But then we always try to get the point across that you can do what we're doing. It's not just us doing it. It's like you're the future, and this is eventually the legacy we're leaving for you.
Students are linked together with a world-class research program. And that is a good bridge because it allows us to transfer technology or transfer knowledge to students, but it also allows those students to see what it's like to be involved in a research effort. And Mote Marine Laboratory has many aspects of research that cover all the fields of marine science. Many of the students that work here don't end up going into aquaculture, but they've learned about the different aspects of what we do at this lab, and maybe they'll go on and do an internship in their college program, either at Mote or at another lab in another field of the sciences. And we have such a shortage of American scientists coming out and going into the field. It's incredible.
I think the career pathways are many for students. And because aquaculture is such a big industry in Florida and in this part of the country, there are jobs for students. We rely on the industry. Like I said, UF Aquaculture Park and Mote Marine are our primary partners. Basically, the design of our center is based on their designs, working with them and their technical staff.
I'm thinking about it, definitely. It's a lot of fun, and I'm realizing how much you can do with it. There's a lot of different fields in marine science I did not originally know about, and I'm beginning to realize how broad this field of marine science is, and I'm definitely looking into it. My dad's in the scuba diving business, so I'm already very involved.